my online palette knife painting academy. And in this particular lesson we'll be doing basic skies and basic clouds. And I'm showing you here what I did was a basic cloud for the autumn trees video that I completed a while ago. So here I show the value, the lighter value here, and I move up to the second value, and then there's the darker value. So it's just a basic sky, because often you want to put, trees as I've done here, or whatever it may be in your design, over the actual the clouds for the sky. So make sure once again that this is nice and thin. So we've done a basic sky for you, and the other one is a basic cloud formation. And so I have a design, I have a photograph which will include in the actual video, and it will show you the design I've created here. So once again I've clipped it off at this area, so this is the horizon, and you can actually put whatever you want over the top of this. It could be trees, or it could be landscape of some description, but it is a basic cloud formation. And I've used ultramarine blue, I've used cadmium red, and some white, just those three colours, just to give you the idea of the base. So I've created a grey which comes down underneath the clouds, and so that's just a basic. When you see the video you can understand that just the basic clouds. Now what the exciting part is, and in this series of skies and clouds, is we're going to add some colour, some wonderful colour to not only to the sky but also to the clouds. So you can see the various colours that we're using, and that'll be in the next video. And that's the most exciting part about it. But I felt it is necessary to understand how to create a basic sky, also a basic cloud, and from that you can develop into something like this, and then you can put a landscape of any description you want underneath it. So it's a lot of fun, it really is, and especially in the clouds and the skies. So hope you'll enjoy. Thanks for watching. This lesson is we're going to be doing basic skies, and so what I've done is I've laid out obviously the titanium white, but I've laid out some blues here. This is the ultramarine blue. This is a new blue that I'm using. It's called radiant blue. This is a cerulean blue, and then a cobalt blue. And from those blues I like to use three values. Now to create the values, I'll take a little bit of the ultramarine blue there and put it in, but I will add a little bit of white. So I'll take a little bit of blue there, and I'll take a little bit of white, and if I want something a little bit lighter than that, then I'll take a little bit more white and just a tiny fraction of blue there. So I'm adding white to these values. So you can see even in this one here I've added a little bit more white. So you've got 1, 2, 3. In here on the cerulean blue I've added white to it as well. So just the proportions a little bit differently. So to get your darker value you'll use a little bit more cerulean blue, or a little bit more blue, and as you want a lighter blue you'll add a little bit more white. So just the three values, but at home you may not have all these blues, and you don't want them all, but you may just have cobalt, you may have cerulean, or you may have the ultramarine. So just don't go and buy new blue, but just try and experiment and have fun doing it. This lesson's about painting a basic sky, and so I've got a very small canvas here, but what I've done is just made a line here to give you an idea of the horizon. So I'm going to put the basic sky in here, just down to the horizon level. And obviously, you know, you can put in here a nice landscape. It could be, if you're by the ocean, it could show off a nice piece of cliff here, and then there's an ocean, waves coming in, and or if you're maybe in Texas, you could have the canyon down here with the basic sky, or if you're in Charleston, a marsh scene, and whatever. It's just, but once you've got this basic sky in, you know, you can put in whatever landscape you want to do. But to start with, what I do is I will add 3 values. I will add the darkest value on actually the light is going to be coming from the left to the right. So what I'll do is I'll put the darkest value on my right hand side at the top here, and also then there will be the next value, which I will say the medium value, and over here will be the lighter value. But this will be fairly what I would call dark, but because right down here on the horizon I want it to be nice and light, so I will use the darkest value, the second value, which is the medium value, and the lighter, and at the same time I will bring the lighter value here right at the base of the horizon, and I will build it up so this will be the lighter, this will be the second, and this will be the third, or the darker value. So let me just start with a basic blue, which is the ultramarine blue, and we'll just quickly put this in here so you get a general idea of where the values are coming from. So just, and make it nice and thin, and then I'll add the second value. You can see that there. We need a fair amount of paint to do this, but so we've got the second value there. Yeah. And now we're going to add the lighter value on the left hand side right here. So there are the 3 values. Now we're going to blend those together. Just blend those very quickly together. So when you're blending, try and make sure that when you're blending, bring the lighter color into the next value, like that, and take the next value into the darker one. So now you've got the darker value, the medium value, and the lighter value. So we'll continue on down with the darker value. You just have to mix up a little bit more. There we go. And then we'll add some more of the second value. The skies are so interesting, you can just play around with them and pellet knife makes quite a noise, doesn't it? So now we're going to take on the horizon there, we want right down in here, we want a lighter value. second value. Just roughly get that in, and making sure that I just vary it around a little bit just to, there we go. Then we want the next value in here. Whoop. Just blend those together. I want to write a little bit more the darker value just up on the top there, because when you're looking outside, you'll notice that when you look out, you'll see the horizon that's very, very light at the horizon, and as you cast your eyes up, you'll notice that it's a lot darker at the top of the sky, the painting here. That gives you an idea of a basic sky formation. So once again, you've got your darker value on your right hand side, then your second value, and then the light one. And at the base on the horizon, just make sure that that's nice and light as well. Just clean up a little bit of the areas there that the canvas is showing. So you can. Keep that nice and thin, because what you may want to do is later on, when you've got your scene down here, you may want some trees over the top of this. So this is important that it's nice and thin. Doesn't have a lot of texture to it at this stage. So it allows you to bring another layer over the top, so you could put a tree in here or whatever it may be. So that's how thin it is. See how thin that is? The knife does a great job in doing that. And when you do it, it's just hold the knife at about a 45-degree angle and keep the blade right from there to there, from the actual edge there to the tip at a 45-degree, and just nice and light pressure, and you can get a very nice, even looking sky there. Because down here, as I say, there could be all sorts of different wonderful landscapes that you can put in here, and by having that nice and thin, once again, you can create a great painting. This is about painting basic cloud formations over a basic sky. So we've got a basic cloud formation right here. This is the image that I'm going to be using, but to do this, I've put together, just so simple, the titanium white, the ultramarine blue, and the CAD red. So once again, I've used the three values, which I've added a little bit of white to each one of them to give me the variance of the three values. The same thing here as the grays, because underneath these clouds I'm going to be dropping in the gray. When you actually, when you're going outside there, have a look at your clouds, and you can see that right underneath that base of the fluffy clouds, there's always that little gray area. So that's going to help the formation of the clouds. What I'll do is I'll sketch this. So I've sort of picked out a design here. So anyway, that's what we'll be doing, and it's a lot of fun. It really is. What we're going to do here is the basic cloud painting. So here's an image that I've selected. I think what I'd like to do is look at a design, so I can see over here I've got a nice area on this corner. So it's sort of a flowing cloud formation running through there, and then I've got the clouds running this way. This is a landscape format. So I've got a nice little flow design, and obviously when you're doing it you'll pick up your own design, but I think the thing to do here is I'll just sketch in roughly what I think. So we'll come in here sort of like that, and come in here, just roughly just get on a general idea, because you're going to put in a darker value here, and then we've got a little bit of a little fluffy cloud right there, and then we come over, got another little fluffy cloud there, and then we've got one sitting up about there, like so, and this is the horizon right here. So now we got that, here we got this here. So we just roughly, this is what's so much fun here with the clouds. You don't have to be perfect by any means. Now what we're going to do though is we're going to put all the darks in. So these dark areas right here, and we're going to put those in first, and then we're going to come in and put the darker value of the sky right here, and then come down like so. And once we've done that, then we'll put in the darker value underneath these little fluffy clouds here. So that's the format, that's the order in which I will paint it. So we'll just come in here now. So we're going around this area, so we'll just put in the darker value there, something like that. A little bit of the grey just up in here. So that's that area right about there. And just roughly follow your design. So that's that there, and we've got a little darker area in there. Let's come in like so there. Get that shape in there. Just shapes, and now what we'll do is we'll do the sky right here. We just put that in. A little bit of a lighter value going out there on the left hand side. Come on down around here, around that little fluffy cloud. As we do so, we're just bringing a lighter value down. We don't want to get around those clouds because we want to keep that nice and clean and clear. Starting to just blend, put the lighter value down and around about here. Take the lighter value into the darker value if you're blending. And just about around that area there. You hear that scraping noise, that's what you're really doing, is you're just blending, you're pushing the blade, keeping that blade around about a 45, and you're taking the paint and you're just taking it up into the darker value. That's what's making that noise. So just around in this area it's getting a little darker, a little bit more. And we're about around that area there. See that it's a bit dark there. Line that up a little bit. Just make that's coming in here a little bit more dramatic. See what actually happens. And right down here a little bit with coming down to the horizon. Now, what I'm going to do is actually put underneath these clouds here, I'm going to put the darker grey. Let's drop in something like this. Underneath that, and then from over the top of that, just drop in a little bit of a second value of the grey. Let's lighten this up a little bit down here. And then you can, it's coming down to your horizon down here. It's going to be a lighter value. And the white part is really the jewelry. The white fluffy clouds are really right at the end of this. You'll start to put the white clouds in. If you get the basis in first, so you get your darks in and then just blend that. So we just make those little shapes there. Now we're going to add so we've got this is the darkest value, then the next value of the cloud, and then we're just going to make a little bit of a the lightest of the grey values coming in. Right, now let's take this cloud here and use a lovely piece of right there. But I noticed that there is a dark, which I could just drop in. There we go. Then you can come back over the top of that. There it is there, it's just showing through. Oh goodness gracious me. Lovely. This is the fun part, it's so juicy stuff, you know. It's a little bit of a curve there so you can come back. Oops. A little bit of a clouds. Now we're back up here. Just getting the paint right on there. So just move the knife around a little bit there like that. Got a little piece over the top here, there's a little cloud. Just leave little pieces coming through. Doesn't have to be exactly the same as obviously as the photo, but let's get a general. And then you can come down and bring these clouds down a little bit further here. We'll go up, main cloud up the top here. Let's get these in now. You can actually go back, which we will do, and tidy these up a little bit and get the general idea of the order in which to paint the basic clouds. So we're about up in here, so we just drop that. And a little bit of the grey coming through there. So we want a little bit more white there. Maybe put a little grey in there just to put that in. Once you do that, then you can come back over the top just to... But the fun part is, you know, it doesn't have to be exactly the same, but you just get the general design going. So you want to just take that away from there a little bit. A little bit more darkness in here. Just over this area, just a nice light little blue area, but clouds are really, they're so much fun. One of the other things you can do too is that, let me just bring this horizon down a little bit just to give a demonstration, just to show you something else that the knife can do. So, now what we'll do is, just let me get that down a bit further. Yeah, what the knife can do is you just drop in some blue here. Just keep that fairly thick. Now, when you do it, what actually happens is just float that across. And then you might want to drop a little bit more in white there. Just bring the knife fairly flat and then just drag it across. See how it's windswept? I think that, you know, that's just a really cool thing to do. You'll see often when you're doing, you know, on a bigger canvas, you can have this up as your main body of clouds, and then below that you have this windswept cloud, and below that you could have, say, the Pyrenees Mountains, you know, so looking out in the distance. So these clouds are looking out in the distance, and these ones are right at the top of you. So it's a cool little trick. So a little tip really, just put plenty of paint on. So you got the grey there. We'll do another little one just to give you an idea. So that there, a little bit of the, there we go. So now just take the knife at about a 10-degree angle and just push it, scrape it across, so it gives it a nice, yeah. So what we do, just see bits of canvas there, so we gotta just go around that. Take that off, and there's another couple of pieces around here too. Some up in here. Just tidy this up a little bit. And, just be careful though, because if you start, there we go. So that's that shape running through there. Oh, I still want that piece there because I want that sort of a hard edge there. A little bit of a hard edge. I want that to float away. So we'll just very lightly clean that edge up. Yeah. Okay, so that's the basic clouds, that using those very limited palette, which happens to be ultramarine blue, and then you've taken ultramarine blue, you've taken cad red, and you've mixed it with blue and a little bit of white, giving you the grey. So those are the three colours, and so you just keep it nice and simple. I see a little hard edge there that's just bothering me. Yeah. So have fun doing it.